I'm really not sure what this red thing here on the corner over there is. I don't know where that is coming from. I mean, it must be from the... Yeah, it is from the observatory, from the draft board. Why? Hmm. Maybe, maybe, but it's not their. That's not their logo. I mean, VS has a different logo. They have like a toad or something. Like, or is he not VS anymore? I thought it was still VS. Hmm. Well, like either way, I didn't put a team in there, so I don't know where that was be coming from. Okay. Myriad is back, so they will start their draft just about now. In the meantime, I will just um, check Discord just for a second. Because I kinda am on double duty here with the Loyal Legends tournament that we're also running. Because if you haven't, maybe if you're not aware, we also host Loyal Legends every weekend at the same time, but starting 2 hours later than than the Warchief Club. And Loyal Legends, as the name kind of suggests or indicates, is aimed for players below 1550 elo, so anyone between bronze and conk 1 can participate there. There's 3 different brackets, so you're not gonna participate against a conk if you're a gold player. It's gonna be fair brackets. Um, so yeah, that is also really cool, and it's also going on right now. So I kind of need to have an eye on that as well. But it seems to be going mostly fine. If I just look at their the brackets, so they're all in the finals brackets, doing the semifinals right now. So yeah, overall, Loyal Legends doing just fine. Speaking about Loyal Legends, Jigglypuff, you are here as well. That is nice. And it's also nice to know that you have an AC home. Because, I'm living in Germany and we don't really have such luxuries. At least not in like homes. We have it in like office buildings and stuff, but yeah, so it's freaking hot here still. So yeah. Take a break, take something to drink, stay hydrated, guys. It is super hot, and we all want to stay safe, right? So yeah, in the meantime, Macedonians and Golden Horde being the first cities that are being picked. Snake River is gonna be the first map, by the way, so I'm gonna put that in here as well already. So one of the new maps, the new DLC maps, Snake River. And Dry Arabia and Mongolian Heights, those are going to be the 3 maps. So Fangs, Westlake, Altai, and Lipany is banned for this best of 3. What else? Oh yeah, French and Knights Templar also coming through. Both players banned Shusi's Legacy and Malians, and then Ottomans and Byzantines respectively. Chinese is the 3rd pick for Myriad, and for Scatter, it'll be, well, something. We're gonna find that out soon. Just a second. Sengoku Daimyo and followed up by Mongols. Alright, I like that. I mean, so far I'm more leaning towards Scatter's saves just because of preference. But in terms of strength, Chinese is really strong, of course. Macedonians is really good, and then French, of course, is just French. Ooh, Rus also. What would you play Rus on? So we have Dry Arabia, Mongolian Heights, and Snake River. Snake River just has one big wood line towards your base, and then there's another big on the other side of the river, and a few smaller ones. So you could put a high trade house in the middle of that. So Rus could be played on Snake River, I guess. Mongolian Heights otherwise probably would be my guess for Rus. And then Ottomans is coming through. Okay, so Myriad with Chinese and with Ottomans has a very, very strong set of civilizations. Scatter with Golden Horde and Byzantines has some good options. And then, of course, Knights Templar also really good, depending on the map. Mongols is overall just doing fine, no matter how hard they get nerfed every time. And Sengoku is still okay, even though they don't feel as strong anymore because of their latest nerfs. And the first civs, Myriad picking Macedonians or Ottomans, and Scatter Knights Templar or Sengoku on Snake River. So I'm kind of guessing it'll be Macedonians against Sengoku. Of raw fish? Okay. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's like, whatever. Ottomans, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Alright, so, yeah, it actually is the exact opposite. It is Ottomans against Knights Templar. Wow, that is so wild. That is... I did see, like, earlier today, I did see Knights Templar against Abbasid. And it was military wing Abbasid into, like, full feudal all-in Knights Templar. That was also interesting. But Ottomans as the first pick, that is crazy. I mean, I can't say that I don't like it. It's just, how do you let Ottomans go through? That is quite a take. Yeah, that is quite interesting. Okay, so in the meantime, Golodeckel is playing as Zyra, uses Legacy against Golden Horde on Dry Arabia. That would also be a cool one. MSN playing Ayubis against Fünfer-Viereck with the Chinese. It's also a cool matchup. What else do we have going? I think that's about it here. And the other ones are just, oh, Cosmos against Mr. Ego Waffles. Ooh, I haven't, yeah. I need, like, next round, remind me, I want to go either Cosmos or Mr. Ego Waffles because I haven't really caught any of them. Or did we go Ego Waffles in the first one, I think? Not sure anyway. Yeah. So just waiting for the players to start the game. Actually, Myriad is just now in game. It's gonna take a little bit until this becomes observable. Yeah, so we just have to wait just a minute. Probably more than a minute actually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop to the bathroom real quick. I'm also gonna fill up my drink. This is the first time I have to go pee, and I have drunk like 2 liters by now, like 2/3 of a gallon for our American friends, which just shows how much I'm sweating. It's because I don't have to pee. So I'm gonna take a very quick break. Yeah, everyone go grab some water. We're not playing water maps mostly here, but we still like water very, very much. It is kind of life-saving sometimes. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm not gonna, mess around with the with the scenes and everything, but they're in the game for 1 minute, so we're gonna hop in there, wait for the observer delay to end. I'm gonna wash my hands because they're sweaty. I'm gonna take a pee break. I'm gonna drink something. You should too. And then we'll see each other in 3 to 4 minutes, probably. Okay, folks, we're back. And I think the other game is ready to be observed as well. So we'll hop. Yeah, we'll hop into that. Pretty much now. So we'll also put that over here. And so the UI is there. Okay. So yeah, first game of this best of 3 series, Myriad against Scatter. Myriad playing the Ottomans in the northern side of the map in dark green, which is the perfect color for Ottomans. And Scatter playing the Knights Templar on the southern side in yellow, which is an okay color for Knights Templar. It's not, it's not the greatest, but it's fine. So yeah, in terms of colors, Myriad already winning big time. Also went for the gold, for the stone. So he is opening with the Dark Age Military School. There you go. And yeah, I mean, as I said in an early game, for those who are not super familiar maybe with that map, Snake River, the name is obvious why. Kind of formed in this S shape like a snake. There's not really a whole lot of fish on this water, but there's like one over here, one over here. So like this is like the most that you can get. And there's like, oh, 2 more over here. Okay. So and that's pretty much it. Like there's no other. I don't think there's any fish anywhere else here. Right? So it's literally just like in the middle here, like 2 shoreline fish, and that's it. Like you can go for a dock if you want to. It is fine, but what's more important is the stone and the gold is really far out here. So with an archer ship, you can actually deny these resources. In this case, also the deer. Sometimes the berries is close to the water, which you can also then deny. So imagine you have an archer ship patrolling over here, you deny gold, you deny deer, berries, and stone, which is quite huge. So that is actually the main reason why you would go on water on this map, not because of the measly fish over here, but because you can actually do quite a lot of harm to your opponent with just a single archer ship. And also, as I noticed in the game against, so Abbasid against Knights Templar, Knights Templar was actually going for a harbor over here, and then Abbasid was playing a ram, but because of this like multi-projectile archer ship, it was actually doing a lot of damage considerably against the ram. So the one single ram wasn't even enough to take out the harbor, or basically that there was like one villager repairing it as well. But that was quite interesting. So yeah, archer ships on this map are really good. So 5 villagers on the twin Myriad with Drace. Quite a lot of villagers, but yeah, Myriad just wants to get there in time. On the other side we have the Knights Hospitaller, which isn't really a surprise. I mean, it does buff the villagers quite nicely. And so if you don't necessarily have a specific plan with your early feudal military, I mean, if you want to go for specific units, then yeah, you would probably go for the sergeants instead. But if you don't really care about the Knights Hospitaller, the Hospitaller Knights, and you just want to have your feudal age, going for the villager buff and the increased healing is really nice and makes a lot of sense. And yeah, and that's pretty much it here. So as soon as all of this kind of runs out with the food, you have to go inward. There's more deer and berries over here. Same way for Knights Templar, with the deer, berries, and then boar, more deer. So actually this is a lot, like the south side here is a lot more habitable for the deer. So that's actually quite nice. What are these villagers doing? Is it going out on the deer now? He has 400. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. I didn't see the amount of stone, but yeah, he has 400 wood, so he is going for the 2TC play here, which is an amazing spot for a 2TC. So not the 1TC fuel all in, but rather going for the 2TC play. And just 2 spearmen will not be enough to prevent that from happening. The best that Myriad can do is to scatter the deer a little bit. Scout needs to be careful to not get taken out. But this is overall not too bad. Like, worst case scenario is you drop a mill over here, and then you're fine. Like, this still is a very good spawn. What is this wolf doing? Please stop. Yeah, please kill that. Like, I swear, like, wolves are like the most obnoxious thing in AoE4. Like, probably worse than, I don't know, Nest of Bees or something. Or Readery or whatever. Yeah, Myriad going for Wheelbarrow as well, so wants to have a little bit of an eco buff. Probably not gonna go for 2TC early on, doesn't make that much sense as Ottomans. But what is he doing? So he is going for the Sipahi. He also did switch the military school to Sipahi after he's getting 1 Makta. That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you just leave it on Makta and you just get Makta after Makta. And at some point you have 3 or so and then you stop. But yeah, just having 1 Makta and then you go for Sipahi from the military school as well as from your stable makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Askeladd, I do not know if you can hold this. At the same time, both players technically have access to feudal age healing, right? You have the Imams on one side from Myriad, and you have the Hospitaller Knights on the other side. So, Scatter, if you cannot punish it early enough as Ottomans, it definitely can pay off. And as long as you don't lose units, you can always heal it back up again. You just need 1 Knights Hospitaller, and you're gonna have a barracks anyway. So you might as well, there you go, you might as well go for a Hospitaller Knight, just one, and then have that healing. I know it's a lot of ifs, but I mean, you know, if it would be my decision, it would be called Age if Empires and not Age of Empires, but you know, maybe that's beside the point. Imagine it would be Age if Empires. It doesn't make any sense now that I think about it, but it kind of sounds funny. Age if Empires. I'm sorry, that was probably a bad joke. I'm just trying to get ready to be a dad, so I'm already practicing on my dad jokes. And you all have to suffer for it. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't even look at the sheep, by the way. Well, you know, to be fair, it didn't need the heat wave to fry my brain. There wasn't much to fry it to begin with. So, yeah. There's that. Alright, so we get a Spearman, we're getting the upgrade for Spearman. And then it's like Spearman against... Ooh, getting the boar here, that's nice. I mean, they're not Spearmen, they just kind of look like Spearmen. They're actually just villagers. Okay, that's a nice tower. Getting some additional, you know, defense up. Do we have... What do we have? Okay, we do have a blacksmith, but we don't have the siege engineering yet. So... Does Myriad want to just dent into it with Myriad? Ooh, look at this. Look at these archer ships. This is gonna be so nice for scatter. Let's hope it doesn't lose villagers here. Sorry, I had to blow my nose for a second here. I mean, archer ships surprisingly not doing a whole lot of damage to units that are walking past them sideways, but overall, okay, we're still burning down that outpost. 12 arrow slits shooting at us. Good snipe here of the Imam, so only one Imam left. And if that Imam, you know, you can always reduce the Hospitaller Knights, but you cannot get the Imams free castle. So, yeah, you did burn down the tower. That's nice, but I mean, he's still diving this. Like, can he do it? It's only secondary towns and it's not as strong, like, obviously, but can he do it? He does have the yeah, he does have ranged armor. And yeah, this is just nice here. Like, look at that damage. Look at this. So that is a nice move here. This is exactly how you want to defend against that. You just have archer ships around, and now Myriad kind of has to walk all the way around, and that is super annoying. And I mean, all that Myriad got is, okay, that's the second villager kill. So 2 villager kills for now. Oh, that's a third, almost a third one. What's the second? Oh no, never mind, there it is. Okay, yeah. Circling around here. Should be able to get the gold even if he needs to. We have another Vizier point, what we're going for. What are we going for? Probably for military campus, that's what I would guess. I don't think we're gonna see a Kinji here, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, we're having another dive over here. Kinda missed that almost. Oh, another villager kill. So with up to 5 villager kills, but Knights Templar still slightly 6, okay, slightly ahead still because of the 2 TC. So I don't know. All things considered, I mean, Scatter has the slightly stronger eco. He's doing a lot of annoying damage here with the galley. I mean, unfortunately, that has nowhere to run to, so yeah, you're gonna lose that, and oh, it's just not enough. It's barely not enough, right? Is it? Is it? Oh no. That's unfortunate. Just like half a tile, not enough. Okay, so Myriad, what's looking? Okay, he has 2 military schools. They're getting buffed here by the blacksmith, so they have faster production. That's nice. Army value 3 times as high as Scatter is. How's Scatter looking? He doesn't have a blacksmith. He has 1 hospital, 2 hospital, nice. And yeah, that is true. Like 3 minutes of idle time in the TC is quite rough, and that's why the 2TC doesn't or hasn't paid off as much as it realistically should have. We even have a market to rebalance just in case. Okay, now we're losing the harbor, which is another 250 wood. Yeah, scrambling a little bit here with just remaining some semblance of control here. I didn't want to mention it, Ascot, but yeah, that is Vortex tactics with the TC idle time. Or as Sun Tzu would have said, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, your opponent will not know it either. This is scary. There's a lot of archers here, so you can't really deal with that. Image's woodline is almost depleted, so Myriad doesn't really care about that. He's gonna move out to kind of far away to these woodlines, or maybe to the big one over here. But big one, we have a big dive here as well. Let's move out the UI for a second here. Villagers on the run on the left. They're just trying to stay alive here on the right, on the left. A lot of idle time. Myriad can just die. Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I don't think there's any way for Scatter to come back here. Myriad will clean up the army here. Not really a problem. Half of Scatter's eco is idled right now, and yeah, the rest is not really anything to write home about. It feels like, how much do we have still here? It's like, I need to switch you up. Yeah, it's a solid amount of units still left here. Oops, no, I didn't want that. Okay, Knights Templar moving out here. I mean, the big benefit is, as Knights Templar, you can't build lumber camps, so you don't have to worry about lumber camps. You can just move to whatever tree is there, and you'll just chop it down. Blacksmith in the front? I'm not sure about that, but at least we're getting a blacksmith, I guess. Do we have the resources? We do now. We kind of have like 1 upgrade. And all of, like, you know, all of this was going on. Myriad can go castle now really soon. And then he gets siege for free. And with siege, he can actually just trap down the town center if he wants to. More villagers on the run here. 17, 18 villager kills. So even though with 2 TC, Myriad is still like almost on par here in terms of villagers. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he held it. You know, I'm also like as surprised as you, kind of. But at what cost? You know. At what cost, right? It didn't get entirely ignored. I mean, almost entirely, I guess. But yeah. Either way, you know, at the end of the day, it only matters whether you got a W or an L. And Myriad for sure will get the W here in this situation. Castle Age coming in very soon. We still have some kind of, you know, military here on the water, but yeah, this is a rough situation. Also, we do not have a single pilgrim, so we don't even have that. Which, going from the Templar headquarters over to here definitely is 130 gold. So that would be kind of nice. Now Myriad can get the upgrades, getting archers, getting the Sipahi first. Not first, I mean that's the only... I thought he had spearmen for some reason, but of course he doesn't have spearmen, why would he? So Sipahi and archers, he still has the Nectar, he's getting a mangonel, just as you should. He doesn't need trap, he can, but he can also burn it down with melee units and with the mangonel if he wants to. And he's also pulling some vills over. Okay, to the tier, of course. We don't have the upgrade yet. Why are we fighting? It's 10 more seconds. I guess maybe that's why we're fighting. Oh, Magda getting sniped first. And I don't think that town center is gonna survive for long. Okay, Archer sniping the villagers, very good. Very good. Now, 17.5 minutes in, the second TC is finally getting burned down, as well as the fortified outpost here. 21 villager kills, so we're even Steven. And Imperial Armory, Magnet Imperial Armory is just pumping away here, slowly but surely getting out the first mangonel. 24 yeah. I mean, now Scatter at least is also castle, and with the heavy spearman he has a solid response to the Sipahi. It's just that the numbers are not there, and worst case scenario, Myriad can just run away. He has already crossbows. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I know, I'm just looking at villagers and it was even, but yeah, obviously if you look at the broader scale of things, you don't have pilgrims, but your opponent is on 3 military schools. That is quite a lot. It doesn't matter. it doesn't matter. Yeah. Speaking of, glass is half full. I hope yours is also half full because you're constantly drinking water. Because guys, it is freaking hot. You need to drink. You need to stay hydrated. Oh, by the way, why did I not ever switch these? Let's put Scatter on the left side, that makes a little bit more sense. So, yeah, Scatter on the left side here. Again, like, Blacksmith up there in the front, I'm not sure about that placement. Obviously, you're just gonna burn that down. It's another 150 wood down the drain, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, yeah, his military schools are on knights as well, so that's where he's getting the knights from, which I kind of like. They do look, yeah, I know, like the design of the Ottoman units is really cool, especially the knights. Can we find some knights? Where were the knights? Where do we? There you go. They really do look cool with their, like, the padded armor over here, whatever you call it. I almost know what it's called. I've got the exact term. Lamellar? Is it lamellar armor? Something like that. I think it's lamellar, but I'm not sure how you would even pronounce it. So. Alright, back to the game. I mean, Scatter is still technically in the game. He is a little bit behind in resources, and then also, yeah, not to mention 4 military schools plus the Mehmet Imperial Armory dropping 3 units every now and then. So he is massively behind, but he is still in the game. He is rebuilding that second town center. And if Myriad isn't paying attention to that, it might hurt him in the butt later on, because there's still the board, there's still the gold. It's just that we still don't have pilgrims, we don't have the fortresses, so... And another blacksmith, like, out in the boonies? Why would you do this? This is the second blacksmith that he's going to lose. I mean, what's wrong with here? Why do you not put it here? I don't know. So at least Myriad sees the second TC and says like, oh, I thought I destroyed that. Why is it there again? And there's another fortress. Scouting blacksmiths? This is not really scouting. Like, it's not, anyway. Yeah, okay. Fortress being built here. So this is a solid position. Now you kind of need traps to deal with that, but do you just build a wall over here just to not have to deal with the archer ships anymore? Like, I probably would. Because as long as you build a wall over here, it doesn't really matter what they're doing. Oh, crossbows getting donated to the opponent. Do we have traps? Oh no, we don't have traps. We have a Great Bombard because we just went for the Great Bombard Vizier point. What I find really funky about that UI is that the order in which the Vizier points are displayed is reversed if the player is on the right side compared to the left side. Like, the field word is on the left side, and if I switch the UI, it's on the right side. I think that's really dumb. So if you can fix that, that would be nice. To have the Vizier points like on the same side of that window, no matter on which side the player is at. That would be kind of cool. Do we have another fortress being dropped? Okay, over there. We can check the relics real quick. Yeah, so third relic being picked up by Myriad. And so far we don't have any for Scatter. There's one more that, I mean, depending on how this fight is going, if Myriad stays around here, that is definitely his. And this one over there on the right side should also definitely be his. He's even been farms around here, he's on stone here, so he's probably gonna drop a keep at some point. So that definitely should be a thing. Yeah, Great Bombard got rid of the town center. I didn't even see that, it was just gone. Like, immediately, and then the fortress is also really vulnerable. So the cool thing is with the iron clamps that you get in Imperial Age, you get a lot less damage by the bombards, but that's also only in Imperial Age. So yeah, can't get to that, and even if you could, it doesn't matter. We also have a trap here, why not? What's the mathematical armor doing? It's also going for still for trap. Crossbow is a little bit out of position here. Need to take care of the heavy spearman. Ooh, demo ship. Hello. Does he see that? Yes, of course he sees that. Never mind, doesn't matter. The fortress is still standing, but that is quite a lot of damage. What is the demo ship doing? It's not doing anything right now. Okay, what do we have any army? Because the army value is more than, like, almost, yeah, 4 times in favor for Myriad. At this point, it feels like he's playing with his food. He's also way ahead right now in villagers. Did he go for a second TC? Or why was that? No, it was just a 1 TC. It was just the villager kills all the time. So yeah, GG getting called. Myriad winning this first one. Solid fights overall. Good plan. And yeah, punishing the slightly greedy 2 TC Knights Templar play. Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, he did survive a lot longer than any of us would have, and especially in that matchup, as you said. So yeah, it's just that, why do you even do that? Because he could have sniped Ottomans, and then he would have played against Macedonians. And I don't see why that would be a worse matchup for him. So yeah, that was the first one. Let's take a look at what they're playing now. They're gonna play on Mongolian Heights. Alrighty. Rus against Sengoku. Okay, pretty much what I could have probably would have guessed if I were a guessing man. Mongolian Heights. So Rus on Myriad side, and then Sengoku on Scatterbrain. Okay, technically they should already be in game because we're a few minutes behind. So let's see. So okay, they're just 2 minutes before us, so we're not massively behind. Let's take Discord. Okay, I'm just taking a quick look at Discord. What is happening? Did someone die? Oh no, really? My power's gone out. Okay, that is. That will come back anytime soon. Yeah. If you let me double check what the status is right now. I don't want to say anything. Was it like in between a game for you? Like what was the state of the game in like 6 minutes a second? Yeah, just remake that. If there was not like a clear advantage for either player, just remake it. It's unfortunate, but it's not your fault, so it would be unfair for either player to get a win there. So yeah, just feel free to remake that. You're not massively behind anyway. You're not holding anyone up in the tournament. That's absolutely fine. And I hope it stays that way. Fingers crossed. So hopefully you can continue the rest of the series without any other issues. Yeah, so with that, we actually can jump into that second game. So Myriad won the first with Ottomans to almost no surprise because it's Ottomans and they're just disgusting in 1v1. No, Escalade, we cannot. We can and do not do that. I know you're just kidding, but still. So I'm gonna need to switch that UI. So here we go. Double check. Yep, looking fine. Myriad playing the Rus in red on the right side, opening with the double hunting cabin. Oh, it's raining. Oh, now I want to ban you. That is so unfair. I want to have some rain too. Friggin' hell. But yeah, anyway, back to the game. You guys in chat are killing me. Thank you very much. Yeah, Scatter playing Sengoku Daimyo in green, in the dark green color. He is on wood right now, so opening with the Matsuri, of course, but not playing. You know, a lot of times you see people going on gold immediately, and then you just buy wood and you basically buy a yatai, because you produce a yatai with going on gold and then buying it. So chopping wood like a peasant, yeah, right? I mean, this is so peasant. But yeah, so that is basically you have these two options. You chop a wood, and then you go for yatai that way, and you continue chopping wood, and that's fine. And I personally would say that's the better way, because you're not like losing any resources by buying wood. But at the same time, I mean, pros have been doing that, so I guess there's a point to it. And yeah, on the other side, I'm still torn in between if that's actually worth it. You know, you put a sheep on the hunting cabin and then you just gather it with the villager that has built the hunting cabin. But my counterpoint would be, unless you have the wheelbarrow before you move back, you're gonna have to move back anyway. Whether you do it now or in 2 minutes doesn't really matter, right? Like, I'm not sure if that actually makes any difference, really. But yeah. That is just my personal preference. I wouldn't do it. But again, as I love to say, there's a reason why these guys are Kong 3 and I'm not. So take whatever I say with a big chunk of salt. Kremlin being dropped on the berries, which is not really. It's not really the resource that Rus wants. I'm really surprised we don't have it here, because then you also secure the sacred site. So why not put the Kremlin over here? Why do you put it on the... Okay, I mean, he puts it on the berries, yeah, but it's also... the lumber camps and town centers within the influence return 20% more wood, so you basically... Sorry, you basically save yourself a wooden fortress. So that is why it's not the berries that why he puts it here. It is because of the wood line. And then, ooh, let's see. If you put the high trade house over here, you're probably looking at like, is it 200 gold per minute? Maybe it's 180, I would say. So there's also like maybe you chop in a little bit here and then you put it over here, and then you have a lot of wood from either side. So that also probably would be like, you know, thinking long term, that's probably what he wants to do. He also found a bunch more sheep, which is really nice for him because that's a bunch more gold that he has. So, yeah, and with all the scouts that he has, because obviously he's gonna go pro scouts, he can't even kill the villagers. That is cool. That is quite nice. He should be able to kill that villager. Ah, never mind. He's getting distracted by the scout. Okay. Alright, yeah. That villager goes to live another day. Yeah. So he can burn down the dock here. And yeah. So that shouldn't be too much of an eco boon for Scatter, for Sengoku Daimyo. Also, how we're looking in Yatai. So we have 3 Yatai already, so no deer. Wait, where's the Yatai? So we have 1 on the berries here, which isn't the most great. And we have 1 on the deer over here, which is fine. And then, oh, and then on the boar, of course, yeah. So I guess, okay, yeah, because of the sheep, this actually gives more food per minute than the deer one gives, so yeah, that is a good choice, getting the berries and the sheep. Yeah, burning down the dock, so that will go down. Ryokan being rushed by 7 villagers. I'm not sure if he wanted to maybe get an archer ship in time. Yeah, he's not gonna repair that. That is not gonna work. And Myriad also is feudal already. So yeah, he's going... Oh, okay, yeah. You can also put a second town center there instead of the Kremlin. That also works. So not going to TC with the Golden Gate, but instead just, you know, naturally, you could say. Really nice spot here. I really love that. Do we? I mean, we still could go. We still could go pro scouts. We're close to the resources. Oop, Scatter is covering the 2TC play here. I mean, this is really far out there. So if we have a lot of feudal aggression, Sengoku, then this definitely could become an issue very soon. And yeah, with the spearmen, the scouts actually cannot prevent that dock from going up again, so yeah. It's also with 2 villagers, so Scatter really wanted to have that back up. But 2TC is nice, I mean, definitely not bad. Pro Scouts can't, no, survival techniques, sorry, coming in. We don't have Pro Scouts yet, so maybe... I mean, we don't really need, like, that's the only other deer pack that we can realistically get to, and we can just drop a hunting cabin here, that's fine. So I guess Pro Scouts doesn't really need to be, but it's really nice bait to have all of these scouts make your opponent think you're gonna go pro scouts. And then he sees the 2TC and he's super confused because he doesn't know what to do. Because you cannot possibly be 2TC and pro scouts and going castle and having stables and military out. Yeah, so that Kremlin with the wooden fortress here, really nice buff here on the wood line. And then the hunting cabins, 7 and 15 it's not the best, but it's fine. What else we're doing? We're just being annoying to the Yatai, as we should, and the archers are getting sniped by the arrow ships, the galleries. Yeah, I mean, outside of that one deer, we really pushed in the deer quite nicely. Wait, where are we getting attacked? Or cannot attack us, right? Okay, and yeah, Myriad is dropping a bunch of production buildings right now. So he has... wait, what is that again? Yeah, archery range, double barracks, and a stable, so he can go for anything that he needs to. He can react to the archers, he can react to the Yari cavalry, to the horsemen. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think he is in a very, very good position. He is behind the villagers for an unknown reason. Why is he behind the villagers? Is that the... No, yeah, it is sufficient boats, never mind. Abbey for chat points. Yeah, that would be fun. But I don't know. I mean, let's put it that way. The Abbey definitely is more difficult to make work. Because with the high trade house, you basically just drop you just drop it there, and you almost forget about it, and you only have a bunch of villagers around it, or like, you know, next to it to gather from the deer. But other than that, you basically completely forget about it. With the Abbey of Trinity, you actually have to do a lot more manual work, right? You have to actually produce the warrior monks, you have to use them in the fights, actively making sure that they buff the right units and all that kind of stuff. And it is just much more difficult to make it work. And ooh, we're getting a lot of walls over here. A little bit ambitious to only do it with one village, I have to say. Yeah, my guess was 180. I think it's not gonna be close to 200, but like something between 170 and 180 should be possible. I also like the walls here on that side. I would probably, yeah, there you go. Also have a gate in here, and we're gonna find out soon what that is going to be. 134, that would be sad, but you know what? Everything's possible. Ooh, we have some sneaky Yaki cavalry. Myriad technically can see that. I think he's also reacting to that, more or less. Yeah, he is reacting, okay. But as in classical Myriad fashion, he is reacting, but not in time. Ooh, close call here. Very close call. And oh, we're also having idle village, like 1 minute of idle time in the town center, really? Well, 155, okay, yeah, so a little bit worse than I thought, but not as bad as 134. So, yeah. At least that. But yeah, still, I mean, that's 2 relics every minute. And then again, you also have the deer, which if you're not unlucky and they get pushed all the way over there, you actually have a solid gather rate from that. You could probably put a hunting cabin over here now, which wouldn't be an issue at all. Is he max bounty? No, he's not. He's at 500, so he is in tier 2. Whoops, sorry. So max bounty would be 1000, which he is a little bit off still, 600, so he still needs a little bit, but he will get there sooner or later because of the unlimited deer that he will get. So obviously, no matter how bad, you know, with sheep, there's still sheep here, by the way. No matter with the sheep, boar, deer, whatever, he eventually will get to that point either way. Let's take a look at the relics. We don't have any relics being picked up right now. We have a monastery, and we have a warrior monk in in queue as well. Ooh, bunch of Yuki here. All right. And RTC is producing again. That is nice. At least one of them. Or both, actually. Okay, we have a bunch of militia being saved up as well, but they don't really do great against Tsuyumi, so... Okay, adding more and more walls. So Myriad is really playing the defensive game here. Do we have 23 fishing boats? Oh my goodness. I mean, good on Scatter to do that. The only issue is at some point they will run out of food because it's just shoreline fish. And then they're not gonna do anything for you. So right now he has a stronger eco, but he is on a timer. He really is on a timer, and so he kind of wants to make something happen here. Trying to burn down the town center. There's another barracks over here, which, yeah, ripped that villager. And militia actually getting called now, because now they would be good against all of these cavalry units. Are they actually gonna focus something, or they're just gonna A move, apparently? Well, I'm guessing Myriad is also getting tired at this point. It's pretty late for him as well. For me, it's getting close to midnight, so... really should have eaten dinner before. But yeah, life decisions, right? Okay, we'll just take a quick look at the base here. We have Saga Brewery, of course. We also have a 2TC, which is also idle. So technically we have a 2TC play. And we have the Takeda clan, yeah, level 2. Which we also don't get horse training for whatever reason. Okay, townsend are falling down. So we could have horse training and also the extra damage for the Yaki cavalry, which now isn't as important. They're only 3 and they're also only pure lich. But at least the horse training is something that the Mounted Samurai would also benefit from. And the Daimyo, of course, as well. Well, the good thing is now Myriad doesn't have to feel bad about the second town center that he's not really using anyway. I guess that's the upside to that, maybe. Yeah, I mean, the men-at-arms are quite tanky, of course, but at some point they're gonna fall, even against Yumi. So that's not it. I'm guessing. We have a bunch more militia, but yeah, that's kind of nice. We have Streltsies at least. Oh, never mind. Wait, yeah, militia hand cannon. Never mind. Oh, that's yeah, of course, because of the change. You also now in Castlade get militia hand cannoneers when you pull the militia. So there's... I was like, how did you get Streltsy? But it's not Streltsy, it's militia hand cannoneers. How we're looking relics wise, we have 3 at least for the Rus and 2 for... Did we have 2? Where's the... Did he just kill? No, never mind. And 1 and potentially 2 for Scatter as well. Oh, Ascalad, I can. Oh man, that is so funny. The Melty. Oh. Yeah, we really should call the militia Melty. Oh, that is funny. I might use that now. I might start using that. That is actually funny. Don't be sorry, Ascalad. I know you're really hot. Still have that sheep over here. And what is happening? Okay, there's still a bunch of cavalry here, so we kind of need to be careful. Crossbows will do fine. Well, I mean, you can just call Cow and ask him to come back here, so I'm also kind of missing his jokes. And look at the damage. The crossbow is actually getting destroyed by the mounted samurai here. That is quite brutal. So again, a bit of idle time. At least Myriad only lost 12 villagers. You know, that's at least something. But he's only 1 TC, and that is quite rough. At the same time, Scatter again with a 3-minute idle time. Yeah, it's 3-2 right now, and yeah, so this one actually will probably also go over to Scatter's side, so that will actually be even though, yeah, it was a faster casting timing for Myriad, and with the warrior monks he has the faster units as well, but he still only managed to get half of the relics, so that definitely doesn't feel too great here. And I mean, at some point he's gonna run out of food, and then he needs to do a farm transition, and yeah, I'm not sure how happy you are as Roos to do that now. We still have a second to see again, and we're producing, so Myriad knows what his struggle is right now and is trying to prevent that from scaling any further. But Scatter is almost ready to go in now. Just needs a little bit more gold, but he has a map. Like, technically, if you're looking as the river for the river as some kind of, you know, map split, this is Roos gold. This is Roos gold, and this is actually now being reclaimed. Yeah, the trader numbers is actually the Yatai. So the Yatai traders that go out. So you can kind of tell how many Yatai traders have been, let's call it, produced in this game already. Because yeah, he doesn't have a market outside of the 2 Matsuri here. So yeah, you can see like on the minimap the white dots, like one Matsuri over here and one is over here. Yeah, I mean, now we have a big fight, but I'm definitely gonna check on the hydrate house soon. 173, yeah, that might be. I mean, the Tarakashima Ashidao, they're really slapping on the men at arms here, so that is quite a lot of damage. So yeah, Myriad losing this fight. He's gonna lose all of these units if he's not paying attention. And before the game ends, let's take a look. 173! Ascalad, are you a god? Or did you cheat somehow? Still idle time in that TC, idle time in that TC. Well, yeah, but I mean, you would have to do the math going from 25 to 40%. You know? Like, I could never. So, but yeah. I also was off by a little bit. I thought 180 would be like the final amount, kind of, but Well, at the same time, I kind of thought it was at 180 before, so yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to do the math, so I'm just guessing, which guessing is a lot more fun anyway, unless you're in a math exam, then it's not fun. It's actually the opposite of fun. And okay, army value 2 times, like twice as high for Scatter than it is for Myriad. Yeah, I mean, Myriad is quite good, but so is Scatter. I mean, it is definitely looking strong for Scatter right now, and I'm kind of guessing that he will win that game relatively soon, and then it will be equal score. So now losing the 3 relics as well. So Scatter, he has taken 3 relics. He has no 2. Sorry, he has 2 relics. 1 is still out there to be taken. Does he know about that, by the way? Oh, he doesn't know about it. No, he doesn't know. Ah, he doesn't know. He does not know. Oh, okay. Okay, so now he's taking the other sacred side. He's moving over here. So, oh, this is a farm transition. This is where he can actually hurt Myriad quite a lot. By the way, why we're still not going in? Not. Oh, there you go. Sword Hunt statue coming up. Not really a surprise there either, and now he doesn't really want to fight at this point. Ooh, can he still get? Yeah, he still can get that sacred side. A little bit of a fight over here as well. His main army is just chilling around here. He just needs to secure, save the cavalry over here. Yeah, it really looks lonely, but I mean, Myriad knows that it is there, but he probably is guessing that Scatter is gonna take it any minute, but Scatter hasn't even scouted that part of the map, unfortunately. So, Imp coming through, immediately queuing a bunch of upgrades. We still have a lot of food and a solid amount of gold, and that's gonna go a lot higher now that we actually have a lot of villagers back on gold after they constructed a landmark. We also have the university soon. Yeah, which again I would probably put it somewhere safe here, but that's fine. And look at this army. I don't think Myriad doesn't have a whole lot of army that could deal with that. He does have a lot of army, but not something that can deal with that effectively. And so Scatter can just ignore the Kremlin, he can ignore the town center, he can just fight. Still wanted to go for the upgrades first, biology coming in as well. Why are you chilling, guys? There you go. High armory coming up as well, so Myriad actually not super far behind when it comes to the age up. How we're looking on the water, so we still have a little bit of food left. So the water is still, 26 minutes in the game, it is still paying off for Scatter. He probably would like to go for another docks just so they have a little bit of better walking distance here, but it's still working out for him. And it's still producing food for him, 2,500 almost per minute in total. That is quite nice. That is quite nice for Scatter. High armory. Okay, Scatter didn't know about that, but now he does. And now he can kind of try to fight and force a fight here before the upgrades come in. Which Myriad doesn't really have any resources left, or a lot of resources left anyway. Yeah, Imperial Militia, that is something else. But still, how we're looking. Okay, most of the front line is gone. Backline is still standing, but so is it. It is for Myriad as well. mean, 47 villager kills, that is quite brutal. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Myriad tried his darndest here to stay in the game and to go imp. I'm not sure if that actually was the call. Like, maybe... Like, if you spend all of those resources into an army, you might be able to win. Like, he wasn't pop capped. Yeah, he wasn't really pop capped. He still could have had more units. Maybe that's... I don't know. Yeah, a little bit of a rough game for Myriad, and Scatter has a solid eco here with the Yatai, which absolutely went unchecked, and with the fishing eco that, with one exception, never really got checked. And yeah, also the fights. I mean, this was a bad fight for Myriad, this was a terrible fight for Myriad, and this was, of course, really bad as well. So it was also a matter of not being able to really counter what your opponent is doing. And that, you know, sometimes it's the eco, sometimes it's a matter of, can I counter what my opponent is doing? And in this case, it was kind of both, unfortunately. So, yeah, Scatter equalizing the score. It's 1-1. So the deciding match is coming up pretty soon. Let's take a quick look at how things are going. They do have the next matchup ready. Oh, that is going to be a fun one. Which map are they gonna play on? Dry? No, wait. Yeah, Dry Arabia. They're gonna play on Dry Arabia, and it will be the Byzantines. Wait, what? Let me double check. Never mind. Scatter is playing Byzantines. Yeah, I was gonna wait. Doesn't have Byzantines. So French against Byzantines. The other way around. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense this way. So, final game in this round here for these two players, French against the Byzantines. The other people in this round, if we just take a quick look, Nudan winning 2-0 against Sass, Cosmos 2-0 against Mr. Eggo Waffles, and 5 mal 4 against MSNDK, currently 1-1, so they're also in their last. Yeah, we also, the other options would have been Macedonian and Golden Horde, but they got sniped. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at, you know, Chinese being in the pool, Ottomans being in the pool, and only Ottomans has been picked. And I mean, Chinese on Dry Arabia? Like, maybe it's not the strongest map for Chinese, but it's definitely not a bad one either. I don't know. I'm really not sure, but I'm not gonna question it. Let's put it that way. I will not question their decision. Myriad and Scatter probably have a good idea what to do and what they want to do. And let's jump into this third and final game of this series. No, I don't want to switch. Myriad playing French in blue here on the northern side. It's kind of left, so I could have put Myriad on the left side, but I'll leave it for now at least. And then Scatter opening on, of course, on stone and then on gold with the Byzantines in dark green, which kind of looks nice, but I'm still favoring purple for Byzantines. But yeah, just a personal preference. 2 on stone, 1 on gold. So we used to see a lot of 3 villagers on stone earlier in the last patch, but since the cost of the system has been reduced to 100 again, you can still go for 3. I've seen it earlier, and then at some point you probably pull one of the villagers, build a cistern and some aqueducts, and then move it to somewhere else. But 2 is absolutely fine in terms of how quickly you get the how quickly you get the stone. Yeah, value it's like, you know what the funny thing is, in bronze you'll probably see a mining camp over here. And then just like going to eat a resource is like, yeah, well, it's close enough to either one, it's fine. So just put it over here. Ah, I can so see that in bronze. I can so see that in bronze game. That Triforce camp. Yeah. Imagine the Triforce camp. Oh. Actually, you know, that's like completely unrelated, but since you're bringing up the Triforce, I just yesterday finished Ocarina of Time randomizer. That was fun. That was really fun to play. So yeah, you know, speaking about Triforce. Anyway, back to Age of Empires. Sheep count pretty equal right now. Oh, oh gosh. You don't build mining camps in bronze, you have a free mining camp in UTC. Well, that is actually true. I mean, now that you say it. Yeah. I mean, I've seen, in my time of, you know, being an Age of Empires caster and player, like, I've seen some wild stuff. Like, I remember one time I was just checking out the games in the Observe tab, and there was one was going on for like 3 hours in 1v1. And I was like, this can't be a normal game, right? And I looked in that, and it was basically like an hour of treaty, and they were just basically like booming ahead like crazy. They had a mod which was allowing them to have like 1,000 units even, and they were just playing like simultaneously, like side by side, not really against each other for like 2 hours before they did anything. It was so funny. It was really hilarious to watch them play. And the cool thing is, honestly, they probably had a really good time. And you know what I really like about Age of Empires is that you can play however you want, in whatever skill level you feel comfortable with, and you can enjoy the game, or you can you can hate it. It doesn't, like, the game can be enjoyable in any way you play it. Like, whether you play against teammates, whether you play against AI, whether you play campaigns, challenges, whatever it is just enjoyable if you want to enjoy it. If you don't want to enjoy it, you will not have fun, of course, but in general, no matter how you play it, you can enjoy it. That's really the cool thing about it. So, yeah, as that's going on, School Cavalry is being built, and we also have the Grand Winery coming up with only 3 villages, so a little bit slower, but then again we also want to have some time to get on wood and to get the spearmen out in time. And does Scatter like his spot? I mean, yeah, berries are super safe in the back. You can also wall over here quite nicely. You kind of... Honestly, we could even see Mercenary Royal Knights. That would be kind of fun. So he could even go for that. Throw in a little bit of a curveball here. I think it's really nice with the berries here. But yeah, of course, the gold just sucks. So that's why he pulled off gold. He doesn't really need that at the moment. And he's just going... Yeah. The Mercenary Barracks, rather. Mercenary House did get a little bit of a reduction in cost, so it's only 100 wood now. Which, realistically, over the course of a whole game is probably gonna make a difference of like 100 or 200 wood. But that is good. Ooh. Okay, he was charging and then he kind of like got body blocked by the palisade wall or something. I don't know. But either way, it's gonna be 1 dead villager and 3 Dark Age Limitine against 1 knight. How is this going to go? we're losing a scout. That's nice. Also getting the sheep here. So Myriad will have to remake a scout. So, you know, slight victory here for Myriad already. For Scatter already. But we're only on level 3 Cistern because he didn't want to spend that time over here. We have enough stone now to go for another one, but then we don't have enough stone to build the aqueducts. The good thing is we, as Byzantines, we get stone for every building that we construct, except for walls, palisade walls, and then of course the cistern and the aqueducts themselves. And that means that for every house, for example, we get 8 stone. For every barracks we build, we get 18 stone. Myriad got deer upgrade? Doesn't? Wait. Myriad got the survival techniques, if that's what you're referring to. So yeah, he definitely did get that one. And I think he got that in Dark Age even, which usually, if you go on deer early on, you just get it because it's super cheap for French. And yeah. But yeah, so basically, you can still go for additional cistern levels even without being actively on stone. You just need to build additional buildings because they will all give you stone, depending on the size of the building. So it's basically, if you look at the house, for example, that's 4 tiles, right? It's 2 tiles by 2 by 2, and so you get 2 stone per tile. So that would be 8. That would be 9 tiles, you know, 3 by 3, so it's 18 stone. And that's 18 stone. A landmark, I think that's 20, wait, it's 4 by 4. So that would be 32 stone, I believe. And so on and so forth, yeah. So, which is kind of funny. So basically, a grand winery, basically, you build like an imp landmark, or you build a blacksmith, and they both give you the exact same amount of stone. Yeah. So that is quite nice, and that is one way how you get up to whatever whatever system level you need. Thanks, Escalade. I'm glad you're here for that reason alone. Yeah, I was also like, is there gonna be an explanation following that, or do we even care? Because nah, we don't. We really don't care. Okay, so yeah, we do have a bunch of olive groves already here, so that is looking nice for Scatter. He didn't really take a whole lot of eco damage outside of one villager being killed, and that was just unlucky timing. You know, it's a matter of like half a minute of his opponent actually being here and not trying to pressure something else. That's a solid outpost here, securing the gold. Ooh, we have a bunch of unit movement. Almost one-shotting us of an archer at this point. That's nice. Very nice. So yeah, Scatter playing it just defensively as you do. I hope that this is actually closing this off. It should, but I really hope this actually works as intended. And yeah, we're slowly... Are we adding... Wait. What did we... Okay, we did add the upgrade with the extra stone. So we're still on level 3 cistern. We could add another one, especially here on the deer pack. That would be quite nice. But yeah, but maybe at some point I would add another one here, also for the gold then, of course. And what is Myriad doing? What is Myriad seeing? Let's take a look at that. He doesn't see shit. Okay, that's something. So he doesn't see anything. He's aging up with the guild hall. That's nice. He doesn't have a whole lot of knights, so going for the Royal Institute isn't really worth it that much. And on the other side, Scatter sees mostly his base as well, doesn't really know what his opponent is doing either. He can guess by the amount of units that Myriad needs to do something. I mean, he is obviously doing something other than just going full feudal all in. And yeah, so basically both players are going Castle Age pretty much at the same time as well. I think Guildhall finishes slightly faster, yeah. But not by much. And yeah, only 2 villager kills. Really, really nice, especially yeah, considering that spawn with that forward gold, forward stone. That is kind of rough. Also, this berry is also in the front. I think as Byzantines, you'd kind of want to swap the berries here for the deer pack, because if you have the deer pack over here at a berry patch, that's really, really nice. But yeah, that's just how it is. Yeah, still only 3 olive groves. We have a little bit of wood that we could use, but other than that, both players just Castle Age. Relic wise, we do have, of course, the Grand Winery, and so we have a monk already in queue. For French, of course, you have to invest into the monastery, so that's another 200 wood that you need to invest. So naturally is going to be slightly slower in terms of picking up relics. Army moving out here. Was trying to defend the relic over there, which is a smart move, but at the same time this will also cost him you. Oh my god. Yeah, jab throwers running out of the mercenary house in the exact wrong time, losing 2 of them immediately. That is quite annoying. Okay, we have 2 monks in queue actually, so Myriad really wants to make sure that he grabs as many relics as possible. No, Skada moving out, but now knows he needs to move back here because of all these knights. Gold is getting idled out. I mean, in a straight up fight, Scatter should definitely win this, but at the same time the issue is pinning down your opponent with the knights, and as long as the archers keep their distance and they keep safe, you basically have to force a fight somehow by moving to your opponent, but also keeping army in your base to stay safe against the French. So it comes down to a lot of like mind games almost, how much you can get away with and stuff. Yeah. That's true, it's only 10 jabs at the moment, so if you have so many archers you probably still feel fine as Myriad, but at the same time these archers will be busy with all the Limitanei and they have the shield wall they can use. Yeah, he also just lost a few knights, so he's a little bit down in that regard. He's grabbing the first relic at the moment, so that is 1 relic behind right now. He is adding army value though. Okay, this relic is also being picked up. Another javelin throw out of position. What else is happening? So we have level 4 systems at least, so that is good. We could go out on the deer, on the berries, okay. And hopefully we drop another cistern soon. Because especially now with the Golden Horn Tower, that cistern actually makes quite a difference. Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting matchup, and it really comes down to, can you do early damage or not? If you can make, like, if you can do some damage, if you can find some villager kills, if you can deny the berries or whatever, then French will have a field day against Byzantines. If Byzantines manages to defend well, and Scatter did manage to defend well, then yeah, then it is an absolute annoying matchup, because he's gonna have limited aid, which are really strong spearmen, really good units, and against the archer mass, which you will then have to produce, he'll produce jav throws, or longbows if he wants to, but probably jav throws, and it's gonna be really nice. So yeah, why do we not see the guild hall? Do I need to? No, where's the guild hall? Where's the guild hall? Okay, 1,000 food right now. That's not really. I mean, it's getting. Well, how much is it? Like 200? I do not see how much it gets per minute. It's weird. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a fast imp here by Myriad. I think he kind of wants to end it in Castle Age while he still has the upper hand in military. Because going imp is kind of giving your opponent a little bit of time and the chance to come back into the game like much better. I mean, this is a solid fight here for Myriad, I guess. At the same time, he's losing a lot of knights as well, so most of the archer mass as well. And the javs, the thing is, the javs are the premium units here, because you can only produce them with oil, and your oil income will be limited. And so, not losing the javs is the main important thing right now. With limited A, you can always mass them up, and if you have enough farms, which, yeah, he's adding more now, you'll always have enough limited A, don't really care too much about them. And if you have the jav numbers up, then you can snipe the archers easily. And because of their high base damage, relatively high base damage, they also do fairly okay against the knights. Yeah, Red Palace, like, maybe over here, next to the gold, would have been nice. How do we look now? We have 1,600 now. I mean, maybe he's still going imp because he has 1,000 food right now, gold right now, and he's getting closer to 2,400 food that he would need. So yeah, maybe that actually is the play. How are we looking? Relics? Okay, 3 to 2 for. Wow, because of the 2 monks that he has, he actually was able to grab more relics, which is quite annoying to only have 2 relics in here, because then again, that's also straight up oil income, and now it is less than it should be. Also getting to the sacred side is really nice. Alright, Red Palace getting dropped. Wait. Okay, on that gold. That's fine. That's also nice. Yeah, a bunch of villagers idle right now here while he is going imp. That is really nice. And what is, I mean, Scatter is behind in villagers because of the faster production time of French, and also, yeah, now 8, 9, 10. Oof, okay. 10 villager kills. The issue also is for Scatter now. His opponent is imp. He knows he's behind in eco. He kind of wants to go for 2TC, but he also really wants to go Imperial Age. And he also needs to stop the Sacred Sites from ticking down. So, which is it? What do you do now? And this is a lot of units. If we can make something happen with these units, Like, again, I think like we have an equal amount of army value for both players. If it comes to a straight up fight, I think that Scatter has a good position. It's just a question, can he find the fight? Because with the knights you can always run around, you don't care. The radic count is 3-2. So French got 3, Byzantines got 2, which they put in their Grand Winery for the oil income. And yeah, French has 3, which they put in their monastery, of course. Okay, moving on to the berries. I mean, outside of the cataphracts, the archers do really well against the camel riders. A lot of stuff happening here, all over the place. The villagers shuffle as you do, trying to repair the gate here as quickly as possible. Oh, this is gonna be so many villagers. Especially the wood line getting idled now is really painful. Scatter is losing, or is lacking wood. And then you have all of this idle as well now. Okay, we have that at least secured. We have these running behind those. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all I can say is Myriad doing an extremely good job with keeping his opponent busy. Scatter has no chance to really find an organized attack, you know, and it's just scrambling. He's just trying to save as many villagers as possible. Losing 17 at this point is really bad. And again, he wants to look imp, but he doesn't have the resources for that. He wants to have a second town center. He doesn't have the resources for that either. But if he stops producing units, he will fall behind in army. And then he's gonna lose the game that way as well. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't, kind of situation for him. French is also gonna drop a keep over here. Well, yeah, double army in numbers, true, but it's mostly like very cheap units, and really only the limited nay are an issue right now. If you can control the limited nay numbers, I don't. Okay, well at the same time it's only 10. It's only 10 knights here, so where's Myriad's army actually? I mean, now that you mention it, like, did he lose so many knights? Where's his knights though? Okay. Yeah, it must be, right? That he lost the... I saw that the Limitanei were chasing the knights, I just didn't think that he would actually kill them. That was... yeah, that is quite brutal. Wants to go for a keep here. I'm not sure if that is going to work. Yeah, nah. Just put it over here, mate. Or that. Yeah, whatever works. Yeah, another fight here. I mean, one thing that Myriad definitely has going for him is he has Imperial Age units. He doesn't... Oh my god, it doesn't have Royal Bloodlines yet. Ouch. Does he at least have like the... Well, I just want to check if he has like the cheaper production... Yeah, okay. So he did get the final keep upgrade that decreases the cost even further by 5%. And I mean, if you can keep the map control here, he will starve his opponent of gold. And unless Byzantines is trading in late game, if they don't have gold, the only thing they have going for them is the oil. And that will be, again, that there is a certain cap. Like, no matter what you do, I think the highest I got was like 1,000 something per minute, but that was really with like 60 olive groves and like three relics in the Grand Winery. And trading, so there's a certain cap that you will have. naturally. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that he was holding with such a small amount of units, and now he has almost double the knights that he had before, and now he can actually move in again. And yeah, like in terms of gold, like this is the last gold that Scatter has access to right now. Then there's this one still, technically. But Myriad just needs to camp that, and then he will make sure that Scatter basically will never reach Imperial Age. And now all of a sudden, Scatter's army is behind. His army value is not even half, it's dropping to 1/3 any second. Again, we don't have royal bloodlines, but that's fine, I guess. Do we have incendiary arrows? I mean, we don't. We do. Okay, we do have incendiary arrows. That's good. And we don't yet have silk bowstrings, but at least we have incendiary arrows. That's at least something. It is a best of 3, so this is match point. Either player and who's winning, and I'm kind of guessing that's Myriad at this point, is gonna win the series, and then we'll move on to round 5. Yeah, so taking very, very little eco damage was extremely well done by Scatter in the early to mid game, but then of course he's falling behind because of French production speed with the villagers, and then losing a bunch of villagers here because of the raids. And then you're behind in age, you're way behind in villagers, and you just have too many things you need to do at the same time, and it's just not possible. No, like it was a very, very close game overall, and then with the guild hall you get that little buff that you need to get to imp, and then you're just ahead at this point. So really well done by Myriad, you know, showing why he is a Chad. And also why he's doing coaching for us as well. So if you play in the Loyal Legends, you can win weekly coaching by Myriad. So if you want to play like him, or at least close to, you should sign up to our next Loyal Legends next weekend.